Hey, I'm Sapphire.
Want to hear something scary? The 9 Deaths. The following story was submitted by Jean. This is a true story their best friend Lawrence told them. My name is Lawrence. I was 13 years old at the time. My mom and I were on a trip to my hometown in India, visiting some family. When we arrived, I went to take a shower and freshen up. I'm still not entirely sure how it happened, but I slipped and hit my rear end pretty hard on the floor. I remember my mom pounding on the locked door to let her in, while I lay there crying nonstop. After I calmed down a bit and let her in, I remember her examining the floor and being really confused. Because the floor was bone dry, I had slipped before I even stepped into the shower. That was just the beginning. Later that evening, my mom needed to run some errands and she left me alone in the house. I began to write in my diary about the trip so far. That's when I heard something grumble. It was my stomach. So I hopped out of bed to grab some snacks from the kitchen. I opened the door, and as I took a step forward, the door slammed back shut, hitting my head hard. I fell backward and onto the carpet. I screamed as I saw and felt blood dripping near my eyes. It hurt so bad. My vision was blurring, and I passed out. But before I did, I remember hearing a laugh that sounded like a woman's. I woke up. I felt terrible pain on my forehead, and I touched the area. It wasn't wet. There was no blood, no swelling, only pain. I was still on the ground. I looked around me. No blood. On the door, no blood there either. The door was still cracked halfway open, and I was still home alone. This type of thing kept happening to me. I would get inexplicably hurt, but ultimately end up fine. Like the next day, I was hit by a bus. Another day, a knife flew at me while I was alone in the kitchen. One time, I began choking out of nowhere. Every time something like this happened, I heard that same eerie laugh. The day before my 14th birthday, I decided to tell my mom. I had counted 8 times that I had nearly died, and I didn't want it to happen anymore. While I was explaining every incident to her, I could see the blood drain from her face. She grabbed my hand and pulled me outside, her other hand making calls on her cell phone. I remember feeling really scared. Did I do something wrong? A short ride later, we arrived at a church. The rest of my family was already waiting there. They ushered me inside, and my grandma proceeded to tell me what was going on. So the story went that my Aunt Natasha became a teenage mother around the time my parents got married. She lived alone at the time, so no one knew about the baby. Unfortunately, she hated her baby girl, Lawrence. She hated her so much that she tried to kill her multiple times, slipping in the bathroom, slamming her head by the door, pushing her at a bus stop, throwing a knife at her, cutting her fingers, strangling her, poisoning her, throwing her out the balcony of the 5th floor, drilling her skull. Lawrence died on the 9th try. She died around the same time that I was born. The only reason my family knows about any of this is because when Aunt Natasha visited me for the first time and heard my name, Lawrence, she confessed everything. I was just 3 years old at the time. My family had her committed to an institution after that. So the priest at the church blessed me in hopes of removing the curse that Aunt Natasha had put on me. And it seems to have worked so far. It's been a year and I haven't had any more near-death experiences. I'm just glad that I told my parents about what was going on when I did. If I had waited any longer, things might have ended a lot differently. Thank you to all of our patrons, especially Natasha, who had a character named after them in this week's episode. If you'd like to join our VIP program, visit patreon.com/snarled. Want more Something Scary? You can hear more stories over on the Something Scary podcast, available for free on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to your favorite shows. The links are in the description below. If you'd like to submit a story, send me an email at somethingscary@snarled.com. Like and share this video if it gave you the chills. And don't forget to subscribe to Snarled and turn on the bell for notifications. And if you dare, follow me on social media. Until next time, sweet dreams.